Well, good afternoon, and like I said, kind of before there, this is a kind of a new opportunity that I think we're coming together with. I reached out to Troy yesterday about this idea that I had, and told him that hey, I felt like that we needed just something maybe a little different other than an ordinary social media post, and kind of go along with our brand in terms of trying to be different a little bit. And Troy said, absolutely, I would love to do this. And so with that being said, the Source Sow Sale is coming up here on Friday. I've got Troy Sloan joining me here from headquarters there in Cameron. Troy, just kind of introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about Team Sloan, the Source Sow Sale, and we'll get started.
Yeah, absolutely, Blake. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for everything you guys do for us there at Kennedy Ventures and CCI and so on and so forth. So, be the fifth year for this event. We started that a few years ago and came up with the name The Source. And honestly, it's crazy to think it's year 5, but it's taken off. It's been fun to work with a lot of breeders and a lot of guys that some of them are my best friends that have bought stuff from us, and on the flip side of things, some of them are some people that I never knew when they've purchased some sows and have got to know them over the years. And man, it's like I said, it's crazy to think it's year 5, but here we are. We've been very fortunate and blessed to have successful sales over the year, and I think we've got a nice set put together for this offering as well for Friday night. So just from a details and logistics perspective, I won't get too in depth as far as the schedule is concerned, but obviously today is Wednesday. Tomorrow we'll actually have an organized preview there where me and my good buddy Will Hilty will commentate on the sows, and I know that's interesting. You just talked about it. Sometimes that can get a little too much sometimes, so it's nice to kind of have this option just to hit some headlines of the sales, some highlights, and so on and so forth. But anyway, that'll be an indoor sale facility. Obviously, that's something we made it important to try to have something inside this time of year. Obviously, it gets dark, so we'll have a 6:30 indoor sale preview for the Source offering. We'll have a meal to follow. Again, we'll have commentating. I believe that'll be available on Kennedy Ventures as well as Walton Webcasting. So that's Thursday. That's tomorrow, obviously. And then Friday is sale day. 2 p.m. We kind of welcome everybody to the farm. That morning, we'll kind of try to do some real pig farming stuff and get stuff done. So we kind of ask potential buyers or guests or whoever it may be to kind of hold off and show up at 2 if you can. At 3, we'll have another preview. We kind of try to make that one just a little quicker and shorter and more to the point. But again, we'll run all those sows through the sale ring or through the preview ring or whatever you want to call it to where people can kind of come see them. 5:30, we'll kind of start our hospitality. 6:30, we'll have a smoked pork chop dinner. That's something we've had from day one, and people seem to like it. 7 o'clock, it's kind of something we started doing. It looks like some other guys are following as well. We try to recognize at 7 o'clock right before the sale, we'll try to recognize all the kids that have had some state and national success, over the last 12 months. So I think we got 60 banners to give away and some jackets. So that's kind of something we, like I said, started, and I think it's been well received. So, not only going to offer some sows, but we're going to recognize some of the young people that have had success with some of our genetics over the last, like I said, last 12 months. 7:30 sale kickoff. It is a live sale. I know sometimes that can be a little different in relation to some of the others, but it's something that we started there and have stayed committed to. Obviously, we'll have CCI and Blake's crew here to where if you can't make it, you can bid online. And then after the sale's over, we like to still have fun, and we'll have some live music and some cocktails and some things like that. So pretty straightforward schedule. Like I said, we'll have preview Thursday, preview again Friday. Then the live sale will be right there at 7:30 on Friday night, the 14th.
Yeah, a couple of things to add on top of that is at 7 o'clock, I know that we will have CCI up and going, so that awards part will be on streamed on there like we have in the years past. That way, anyone at home that isn't able to make it, that wants to see a kiddo walk in front of the stage and get a banner or anything like that. And then as far as the lots go, I mean, all the pictures and descriptions and everything are listed on ShowPig, Kennedy Ventures, CCI, kind of everywhere. And then there's obviously an incredible catalog that's been put together that that you can find in those same locations as well. I think with that, we'll kind of get things kicked off here. Lot 1, 2165X.
Yeah, Blake asked me, kind of which ones you want to highlight, and sometimes it's hard. We try to offer some of our only our best. I know everybody says that, but offer some of our most proven. And when we got down to the short list, I not only wanted to kind of talk about Lot 1 because I think she's a sale highlight, but at the same time, she has a sister in this sale that is definitely no slouch, and then she's got 2 daughters that will actually be under the bred gilt division. So yeah, Lot 1. She'd be a no intro, lock it up visionary. She is bred to Culture Shock due there the last couple days of November. So coming up here soon. I know, over the years, it's crazy to think, but November's may be as popular as they've ever been. So if you scroll through our offering, you'll see there are several that are due here late November. And obviously sometimes that scares people a little bit from a delivery perspective. But and we won't get too in detail on delivery, but don't worry, we're going to get them to you guys as quick as possible. I know Trent Lahr is going to be here right after the sale and take off and get them from point A to point B. But anyway, yeah, no, a sale highlight for sure. Like I said, bred to Culture Shock. I think those first pigs have been very, very well received. As a show gilt, this Lot 1, also known as Babe, would have been champion middleweight there at Breeders' Cup in Indiana a few seasons ago. She would have raised the reserve division there at San Antonio in the Dark Cross Barra show. Just a few months ago there earlier this year. Would have raised the grand at the Utah State Fair as well as the Youth Expo. She's had a ton of gilts that we've kind of laid back and are really starting to kind of do a nice job as well. So, and again, talk a little bit in circles here, but you hit on kind of selling them off TV and catalog order and stuff like that. We will have a set sale order by sale time. They won't actually sell 1 through 25. So we will lead the sale off with Lot 1. That's kind of something we've always tried to do. We're going to continue to do that here in year 5. But just to be transparent with everybody, there will be a sale order. So be sure you're looking out for that.
Yeah, and we'll get that attached on CCI as well as kind of everywhere else. Next up will be we'll move into Lot 5, 2179X.
Yeah, like I said, I wanted to talk about Lot 1, and then when you think about Lot 1, there's some things that correlate with her. We're not going to talk about every lot. Obviously, we don't want this to last 3 hours, but Lot 5 would be a littermate sister. She's done an awesome job. She would have had the 3rd overall bear at Missouri there a couple seasons ago, as well as a division winner. Her mom and Lot 1's mom obviously would be the same. They'd be littermate sisters. Her mom would actually be the sow we call Raven. That would have been our high seller a couple seasons ago in this same sale there for like $30,000. I do think the interesting note on this, kind of what have you done for me lately, kind of business, I guess. A lot of people refer to it as. This would actually be the grandma of 2 of those pigs we would have sold at perfect timing there a couple weeks ago. One of them brought 47.5, I believe, 47,500, and the other one brought 45,000. So it's kind of an interesting story, I guess, there. She's done a really good job, but her daughters are really starting to do a very, very good job. So she does have a little bit more age to her. I mean, that's the thing we always fight sometimes with this South sale is, some guys are just assuming we're selling the old washed up ones. I do truly believe her and her sister, Lot 1, that we already talked about, still have some gas left in the tank. So didn't talk about service sire, but she's bred to the popular Relentless boar there at Laird's, and she's due the 6th of January.
Next, we'll move to Lot 22 there, 2484X.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I said, wanted to talk about a few highlights and thought if we were going to talk about Lot 1, we might as well throw their 2 daughters in. And Lot 22 and Lot 23 would actually be littermate sisters. They would both be trick daddies, and then their mom would obviously be Lot 1. So no intro, lock it up. This Lot 22, bear with me, I can't remember all this for sure, but flip through the catalog here. Lot 22 within the pair is the one bred to farm wide. And she's due the 23rd of November there. She would have had a littermate sister that would have been high placing there at OIE and was kind of up towards the forefront of that sale there you guys have at Oklahoma Youth Expo every year. So really good litter of pigs. I actually think there's another one we've got stashed away in the G barn. Obviously the OIE Guild, and then Lot 22 and 23 would be littermate sisters. So again, here would be 23, same song and dance. Just want to talk about those because, they correlate to their mom there, and Lot 5, their aunt as well. This one's actually due late November as well. She's bred to Midnight Hammer. Midnight Hammer is actually a boar that we would have raised that was a Claw's son that Showtime Sires has there in Illinois. So maybe a little under the radar boar compared to some, but I can promise you we bred several to him. He'd have been a littermate sister to like the 4th overall gilt at the Iowa State Fair, as well as the reserve overall gilt at Missouri. So he come from really good litter. They bought him as a baby here for a pretty good chunk of money last spring, and we're excited to get some on the ground. I know we had a few litters there 10 days ago or so, and they look nice. So again, 22 and 23 would be daughters of the lot 1 sow that we're going to lead the sale off with. Obviously, litter mates here. 22 would be the one bred to far and wide. We've talked about her. The 23 there on screen now would be bred to Midnight Hammer.
Here we'll flip back to the front of the catalog with lot 3, 2261 C. This would be the only, I think the only Chester and the only pure in the offering.
Yeah, that's right, Blake. And you asked which ones you want to talk about. For as good as the Chester program's been to us, I didn't want to leave the only one out. It's hard. It's hard because we don't have a ton of them running around the farm, and as fortunate as we've been to been as successful as we have with the Chesters, I wish we had more. They just good ones don't come around often, and usually we try to sell some of the better ones just to kind of spark some interest and try to ultimately hang some banners. But with that being said, this would actually be the reserve Chester gilt at San Antonio a couple seasons ago that the Fort family would have shown. I know she won some other banners that year as well. So had the opportunity to get her bought back there from the Fort family and took advantage of that opportunity. She'd be a big screen back on the famous Jack in the Box sow that did just an incredible job. I think without a doubt, one of the best Chester sows to ever surface within the breed. Really of any breed, one of the best ones that we've ever had the opportunity to work with. She would have actually sold there a couple sow sales ago and brought a good chunk of money. This one would be bred to double dipping. She is bred there the mid part of December 16th. So again, was successful as a show gilt. Her pigs have been wildly popular on sale day, and probably her most notable wins would have been she would have had the reserve Chester Bear and the reserve Supreme overall Bear. Reserve Grand Bear there at the Team Purebred Junior National there a couple seasons ago for Renee Conklin. So again, this is kind of the first group of these double dippins. That's a boar we actually would have bought as a baby pig from the Danner crew last spring, I think for $15,000. And after a Laird kind of pried on us for a while, we ended up actually selling him to Premium Blend. But want to be transparent there. We take credit for the double dipping thing sometimes because they bought him from us, but Danner's fully responsible for that one. I know that boar come from an incredible litter, and man, every day he was here, he looked awesome. He looked good when he showed up. He looked good when he was headed to Arlington, Indiana as well. So excited to get those on the ground. Like I said, we've already had some. They look neat on the sow. We'll see what's going to happen there. But I think from a Chester perspective, there's not a ton of them out there on the market, I guess, to buy. This one visually, I think, is very, very neat. And like I said, comes from a pedigree that's been awfully good here at Team Sloan.
Next up, we'll move to lot 9. This is 2175X.
Yeah, so this is definitely a sale highlight. The boys call me crazy for offering this one. Actually would have judged San Antonio there a few seasons ago. Got the opportunity to judge the cross gilts there. Would have been the same year that Hilty and Albright did the pures. I lose track of time, but I believe that would have been in 2022. So this particular female would have been champion that day that I judged, and had the opportunity there. I obviously have a sale after that gilt sale, or after the gilt show, excuse me. And man, I loved her. Used her in the show to win. She's bred by Altenwalter, and she's done an awesome job. Like I said, she herself was champion that day, but her pigs have been even better. She would have had the reserve or champion middleweight, excuse me, at Tulsa there a few weeks ago. Actually, would have had a division champion at Missouri this summer. A couple seasons ago, would have had the reserve 4-H bear at the Missouri State Fair. And then again, much like I talked about lot 1, you're getting into some of these where you're actually getting into some grandsons and granddaughters of them. Her grandsons and granddaughters have been awesome. They've started hitting the ring and have done just a wildly good job in terms of capturing some banners. She's bred to the very popular Logic boar there at Beeman's at 333. She is due the last couple days of November there. So due the 29th of November. She's bred to Logic. This would be lot 1 or lot 9, excuse me.
We'll move to lot 20 here. This is 2478X.
Yeah, so it's interesting as we get into some of these gilts. Obviously, we already talked about a couple of them, but there was a handful of these that I wanted to highlight. And yeah, we probably didn't talk about the Charlene daughter. We just talked about Charlene, but that would be another daughter that I think has that's going to be in the sale. I believe she's actually lot 20. Would have skipped over her, or 21, excuse me. 20 is on screen there, but talking in circles a little bit. When we put the sow sale together. Over the years, we've realized that some of the more serious buyers are probably willing to take just a little more chance on some of these gilts that maybe aren't proven, just because they got some younger, fresher blood, and maybe the ceiling's just a bit higher on some of these gilts just due to some fresher genetics. But anyway, where I'm going with that, this is definitely a sale highlight in my opinion. And when Blake asked which ones we need to talk about, I thought lot 20 for sure was one. We needed to bring up. Her mom would have actually been the champion gilt there at Breeders' Cup for Laney Gaston there a couple seasons ago, and her name was Spaz. So this one quickly got the name Little Spaz, I guess, for lack of better terms. Looks a lot like her mom. Again, we bred a lot to that Logic boar there at 333, and I know we've got a few on the ground so far, and I think talking to other guys, those pigs they're gonna work. It looks like. I know it's early in the stage. Early stage in the game, but like I said, we used him relatively hard. Again, she's due the late part of November, the 24th of November. She looks like she's crazy heavy bred to me, and obviously we're always just guessing when we're saying that. But from a pedigree perspective, Canoe, no stranger. Again, mom would have been champion at Breeders' Cup. This gilt would have come out of a good litter of pigs that would have sold at, I guess, the first top shelf in the summer that we ever had. There was a couple of those that brought real good money. So from a pedigree perspective, I mean, I know it sounds cliche, but about as good as we've got here around here, and I think this Logic deal is going to be good on her.
I think we're going to kind of round out the last lot that we'll talk about here is actually going to be lots 26 through 30, which is actually all on the same board here. But I know Troy wanted to talk about this board and then kind of talk about the semen offering within each lot. So if you want to kind of tell about the board and then what's being offered on these 5 lots.
Yeah, for sure, Blake. And again, kind of like he alluded to already, it's a bred female sale, but each year, I guess that we've had the Source and had this event, we've tried to incorporate something a little bit different, just to create a little excitement. For those guys maybe looking to lay in some different genetics, that maybe don't need a bred sow or their crates are full or whatever it may be. This particular guy here, we decided out of all the ones that we've, I guess, raised this season, he was kind of the one that fit the bill and just made the most sense to kind of keep here. He would be a power hour. For those of you guys that don't know maybe what that is, that was the $155,000 boar that us, Schwecky and Lackey would have bought last year from GNS at perfect timing. I know everybody says it, but that boar's done an incredible job for us. I think we took 4 of them to PT this time. And those 4 averaged right around 40,000. So those were the very first ones, or within that first farrowing group, I should say, first season of power hours. This guy's mom's a young sow. Glory Days, tricked out. That tricked out would actually be a littermate sister to Pass the Hat, the $140,000 boar that we would have sold at PT a few seasons ago there to Crossroads. So from a pedigree perspective, Pass the Hat's mom was incredible for us. Glory Day's mom would actually be Cinderella. The gilt there we would have bought with Hilty for $95,000 at the exposition a few years ago, and then obviously Power Hour. I've already talked about that. So this guy come from an amazing litter. I don't know exactly what they averaged. It doesn't really matter, but they were good. They got good homes. Whether they were gilts or barras, they look like pigs that were going to feed. So. I think you could say it pretty handily, pretty comfortably, I should say. That was probably the best litter of the summer or fall or whatever season you want to call it. So, selling semen's always interesting. We're not a semen sales business company or whatever you want to say. We're dang sure not a boar stud. I will say we laid in some new equipment and got educated on that whole situation there a year or so ago and feel comfortable about what little semen we have collected and sent out. But with that being said, again, we're not gonna we're not going to run this place like a boar stud. That we have no intentions of doing that. But we've got enough sows now that keeping one or two around dang sure makes sense anymore. And this is kind of one that just kind of made sense, I guess, for this particular setting and kind of where we're headed and where what we're trying to do at our place. So lot 26, 27, 28, and 29. There's lots of different ways you can sell semen. Blake, you've had way more experience doing it, through your guys' events than I have. But what we're going to do, right, wrong, or indifferent, we're going to sell 2 doses at a time. So lot 26, 27, 28, and 29 will all be 2 doses. And then we get a little more creative, I guess, for lack of better terms. Lot 30 will be 2 to 12 doses, which I know sometimes it can get a little complicated. And I know there's been a few hiccups along the ways. But lot 30, if you're the final bidder on that lot, you have the option to take 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, or 12. We will sell 12 doses in that lot, though. So, for example, if the first person takes 6, there'll be 6 more. If the second guy takes 2, that means 8 of them will be gone, and there'll be 4 left. So just kind of keep going until they're all gone. If the first bidder wants all 12, then that's all we're going to sell. So just quick math says it should be 20 doses total. At this current time, I guess that's all we really feel comfortable selling with how much we're wanting to use. And obviously, he's a young boar. He hasn't been collected, and we'll see how that pans out. But I guess I haven't talked about the pig a lot. Talked more about kind of what we're selling and the pedigree. But visually, obviously, we'll have a preview. I would encourage you guys to tune in. But I think this pig's the real deal, and I'm not telling you there's not a better one out there. Because there probably is, but we like this guy's chances quite a bit. So call him Power and Light. I thought it was a creative name. Leo came up with that, so kind of stuck. That's kind of what we refer to him as. So that will be his name moving forward.
Very good. And like I said, before that lot, kind of keep it short and sweet. And I think that was the goal of this is, to kind of actually tease the catalog. And I highly encourage you. Nate's going to leave here first thing in the morning and head up that way and get set up. And I encourage you to tune in to the live preview tomorrow. Troy and Will will actually talk through the entire catalog, but you'll also be able to get and be able to watch each sow walk across. So an experience that is done like no other. And man, Troy, I want to say thank you for taking the time to get on this and try something new and B, just, be a part of the KV family and use us at all your events and trust in Kennedy Ventures and CCI.
Yeah, no, likewise. You guys have been awesome to work with. I think, I don't know how many live sales we've had here between little pigs and sow sale, obviously top shelf and all that stuff, but it's done right. You guys do an awesome job, and we wouldn't have it any other way. You guys have been very, very good to work with.